Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Well, the UAE has made its nationwide vaccination campaign the driving force behind its efforts to combat the pandemic. Ever since December, more than 15.5 million people, or doses in fact, they have been administered to the public, and almost 74% of people across the Emirates, they have received at least one dose, while more than 63% are fully vaccinated after taking both doses of their chosen vaccine. So we have 5 different vaccines that are here available in the country. And just to look at the vaccines, before we start talking about booster shots and all of that, we have the Sinopharm one that is widely used. It's the most used, in fact, here in the country. It's the Chinese one, China's Sinopharm vaccine. It was approved back in December 9th. It's the inactive vaccine, which basically contains a killed version of the germ that causes the coronavirus, and its overall efficacy is about 79%. Then we have the Pfizer one. It's the vaccine that works by introducing a molecule to cells known as messenger mRNA, or RNA, messenger RNA, which is mRNA. And those vaccines, or that vaccine, needs 2 doses, and they're typically administered at 3-week intervals. Now, the Pfizer vaccine, it has an efficacy reportedly of 95% against symptomatic coronavirus infection. Then we have the AstraZeneca one, and that is given into 2 doses as well, and it's made from a weakened version of a common cold virus from chimpanzees, and it has been modified to contain genetic material which is shared by the coronavirus, but it cannot cause the illness. Now, they're saying that its efficacy rating is about between 76 to 82% following the second dose, at least 12 weeks later. Then we have the Sputnik 5, Russia's vaccine, and it's based on 2 inactivated viruses called adenoviruses that normally infect people. And these have had genetic material added so that once the vaccine is injected, human cells produce coronavirus spike proteins. They're saying that this vaccine showed an efficacy rate of more than 91% in UAE trials. Last but not least, we have the Moderna one, which was actually approved about a few days ago, in fact. And health officials on Sunday, they announced this, that they have granted emergency registration approval for the usage of the Moderna vaccine. And it's similar to the Pfizer one, in fact. It uses also mRNA technology, and it contains genetic instructions for the cells to make the coronavirus spike protein. And they're saying that it has a 94% efficacy, and it's among the most effective at tackling the coronavirus and keeping patients out of the hospital. It's an American vaccine, in fact. And those are the 5 different vaccines that we have in the nation here in the UAE. But let's talk about booster shots.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons this conversation about booster shots is picking up, and a lot of people are showing interest in getting the Pfizer shot specifically on top of their Sinopharm shot, is the notion of traveling to European countries. And that's because we're in a bit of a sticky situation right now. The European Union, back in May, said it would recognize people as vaccinated only if they had received shots licensed by the European Medicines Agency. And those shots do not include the Chinese-made Sinopharm and Sinovac vaccines, which a lot of us here in the United Arab Emirates have taken. The World Health Organization is currently pushing for the EU to accept the vaccines that it had authorized for emergency use, namely Sinopharm and Sinovac. And they issued a pretty pointed statement saying, quote, "Any measure that only allows people protected by a subset of vaccines to benefit from the reopening of travel would effectively create a 2-tier system, further widening the global vaccine divide and exacerbating the inequities we have already seen in the distribution of COVID-19 vaccines." This is according to the World Health Organization, a UN health agency, saying that this would negatively impact the growth of economies that are already suffering the most, with many developing countries having had Sinopharm as the primary vaccine that they're enrolling as well. So that's the sticky situation with travel right now, and has a lot of people in the UAE who had taken the Chinese vaccine before saying, oh goodness, now I have to take Pfizer to go abroad. And it's pretty saddening to see that.
It is, and it's best to get the vaccination done as well. Pfizer booster, if you are living in the Emirate of Dubai, we'll be talking about this later on in the program. So if you're rushing into the office and would like to catch up with this, don't worry, we'll discuss it again just after 9 o'clock. So you can put us on your web browser, pulse95radio.com, or even on your mobile phones.
Or YouTube.
Oh, YouTube,
Yes.
Watch it live. Watch it live. Happy faces. It's coming home. The fact is that you can take the Pfizer shot after 3 months if you've taken the Sinopharm. If you're a resident of Dubai or a Dubai visa holder, and in Abu Dhabi they say 6 months after your Sinopharm. So it's great that people who want to consider taking the Pfizer, they can. However, authorities have also suggested that only take the booster shot and not the double dose. So that's also another bit of a concern that people are going to be having. But now, I was also one of those who was considering getting the Pfizer, by the way.
Yeah.
But then I had to cancel the appointment. As soon as I heard that my Sinopharm is valid for 9 months, it gives me immunity, I was okay. And then I made sure that I checked the COVID-19 restrictions for whichever country I was planning on traveling to. And it was quite clear that I'm okay with the Sinopharm shots, that if I were to travel to those destinations, it'd be fine. So that's when I decided and opted, saying, you know what, let other people take it who really deserve it and who haven't been vaccinated. And as people in America, one of the popular Republican senators from Virginia said, if you're not vaccinated, you are part of the problem. So let's get vaccinated and let's be responsible. Stay with us in the morning, Majlis. We've got the news headlines lined up for you. We'll be back right after that.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Oh, happy day indeed, because today we have the Sharjah summer promotions coming our way, or kicking off, and it's set to last until the 26th of August. And this is a great way to get ready for Eid al-Adha gifts and shopping in general, because, I mean, that's what we need. We need some good discounts around. And that's exactly what we have here in the Emirate of Sharjah. And this mega sale event, it's actually being organized by the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And even the chamber, they said that they have completed all preparations in cooperation with shopping malls, sectoral business group, in order to present a distinguished season full of charming tourist atmosphere and various events and recreational activities. A lot of malls, they're also taking part in it. What do you have, Abdulkarim?
This is when people reacted after hearing 8th of July started.
Okay.
It's people celebrating. It is shopping promotion.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what people are celebrating.
Very nice.
There's so much to celebrate here, because what they're going to be doing is they're going to be hosting a number of competitions and prizes as well. What is it going to be? Another BMW this time around?
Yeah, another BMW, but that's going to be from City Center Al Zahia, because they did announce the launch of a campaign of competitions and prizes through which shoppers, all they need to do is just shop for 200 dirhams at least to enter a raffle draw on a luxury BMW X5 car.
Oof, this time X5.
X5, in addition to organizing special activities and events during Eid al-Adha as well. So that's all going to be at City Center Al Zahia. So that's one of the venues, or one of the malls that will be taking part in the Sharjah summer promotions of this year that will be kicking off today again.
Look,
Amazing.
there's so much to shop for, and of course, with City Centre Zahia being one of the latest malls to enter the shopping, the list of shopping destinations for the Sharjawis and Sharjawiyas, and the Eid al-Adha fast approaching. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would be looking at buying some presents, and what better thought than just buying something for your loved one, and then eventually Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry gifts you a BMW X5 to drive away. Incredible scenes. That would be a dream come true for many people, and this is amazing.
Please give us the BMW.
I'd want the BMW.
No,
for sure.
we already distinguished that. We already talked about that before. You do not get a car
Why not?
because, I mean, you already have two. Why this
Exposed.
greediness?
I mean, it'd
Let
be nice,
other people have
It'd
it.
be nice to have a BMW.
No, you already have 2 ones. Khalas. That's enough. That's enough for you.
No, it's okay.
2 cars for you are more than enough.
I ride a bike to work. So, well, it'd be nice to have a BMW X5. I think what's going to happen now is I'll go out after the show, go straight to Zahia City Centre, make a nice purchase, get an early present in, and be the
You
first
can-
one
you
to
can-
drop the voucher in.
There you go.
10 a.m. tactical.
Tactical.
Yeah, so the draw booth will uplift my voucher,
Okay.
and hopefully I'll get a chance to win this. It'll be great actually, and it's good to see that more people. There's more incentives for people to make those purchases and make those and soak in the shopping atmosphere that the Emirates has to offer. And new shops are opening up in the city centre, so always good news. But it is running for quite a number of days, isn't it, as well? Until the
Until the
26th.
26th of August.
Yeah, it's going to be taking place until the 26th of August and comes with a slogan that is designed to be consistent with dimensions, colors, and the type of font used to give you a sense of a fresh start, a new beginning here as well. And it aims to attract groups of different ages to the Emirate of Sharjah. And just the whole campaign and the way it's set up, it's there to reflect the diversity of the United Arab Emirates and the excitement that's coming here to the Emirate of Sharjah. And we look forward to covering how Sharjah's markets and shops and malls and retail stores are going to be revitalized as a result of this initiative.
Do you guys do Eid al-Adha shopping normally?
Always last minute.
Last minute.
Yeah, as usual.
It's better to get started early. I hate last minute shopping because it gets so busy, and I feel like all the good items run out.
That's why I do it after the show, 10 a.m. Get the voucher in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just thinking about the voucher, man. I'm
look,
thinking about the shopping experience.
Always think about return on
You're just-
investment.
ROI.
whatever you buy, can you and potentially win something?
something.
Yeah, always think about that. But no, it'll be great. I think we've got to start planning now because it's only a few days away.
Less than 2 weeks away is Eid al-Adha. In fact, 2 weeks. Yeah, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who are planning their summer holidays.
Yeah.
So might as well go down now and check the things out that you want.
Especially city center Azahiyat, it's amazing. I love this new mall. Really,
Yeah.
it has everything. Even though it's not 100% complete with all the stores, I believe, but
it's very close to us.
But it's very close to us. It's very convenient. It has everything you need so far.
Exactly.
Yeah. Plus,
Well-
you get a chance to win.
You get a chance to win, and it's
Beat
all.
Abdul Karim to it.
Oh no!
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Please.
I've beaten far too many times as well. So no, but it's great news that we've got the spirit of positivity and more people willing to go down to the malls and shop. And of course, these promotions and these discounts definitely do entice you. But one particular tip I'd like to pass on is when you do those shoppings. Be mindful that if certain thing is on discount, it is always going to be those items that are already on the shelf, not, sometimes people don't find the right sizes. But the problem with those discounted items is that you'll look at it one day and think, you know what, I'll take my time and think about it, come back to it, it'll be gone. So whenever you decide something, buy it immediately. That's my thought.
That's true.
Yeah,
I agree
because
with you.
it'll go away.
It
It
will.
literally gets sold out. So, and you never find the right size. So it's good to start early as well. So, let us know your own shopping tips and advice as well. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Entertainment headlines.
Entertainment headlines.
Entertainment headlines.
This is
The Buzz.
It's a superhero world after all, isn't it? We're talking about Black Widow. The movie's finally out. A lot of people, you can book this through your favorite cinemas, your apps, and you can go down to your favorite malls. I'm pretty sure here in Sharjah, the city centre Zahia is going to be busy because of their famous Vox cinemas, and people have been loving it. Literally every single time I've been there on a weekend,
Yeah.
no, there's no chance of getting a seat. If I'm in there,
I don't think it's a good idea for people to go to the cinema during the weekend.
Why is that?
I'm against it for
Or
some reason.
pre-book it.
'Cause it's, I mean, yeah, you pre-book it or just avoid it. Just go
Yeah.
during the week.
Because it's
So busy.
yeah.
It gets sold out very quickly.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I got a chance to watch.
And you don't get the best experience because what you just said, it gets sold out really quickly.
It does. And yesterday, I was quite happy because it was a premiere, so obviously my seat was reserved, which was very nice. But we watched Black Widow yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a massive superhero movie fan.
Right. Yeah.
All right, myself personally, I know Avengers, lots of people. I've watched Captain America. I watched it, lost. What
Yeah.
happened? What's going on? No clue. This movie, I was very gripped. And normally, I also assess movies based on how many times I look at my watch. I looked at my watch once because I was anxious to get back to watch the England game. But look, the movie, Scarlett Johansson, exceptional character, fantastic actress.
She is.
But the character, the way she portrayed it, the way it was, and the fact that there was a lot of action as opposed to superpower strength was what sold it to me. And you know what? One thing, and I had to Snapchat this, because it was Black Widow, they also launched something or gave us something called a black vanilla popcorn.
Oh,
It was
was
black.
it good?
It tasted great, and I felt so full that I didn't even have dinner.
Wow.
I didn't have dinner
That's
at all.
an
I was so
experience.
full. But yeah, that was a quite cool experience itself. But you know,
What's the rating you would give the film?
I'd give it a 6.75. No,
Oh,
I'll be
my.
nicer. Come on, I'll give you 8. That was a great film.
Okay.
You know, the thing is, watching these films, especially if you're not a superhero fan, it's accessible for you. I think it's a very accessible movie, and the graphic. And the one thing that you've got to look at is, you know, a lot of movies weren't being produced because of the pandemic.
Right.
But to see such a massive production and a massive screen, it's great. So I think we've got to. It's time for cinemas now, isn't it?
Well, you're on point because IMDb gave it 7.3 out of 10 and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 82%.
Nice.
Critics like this
Yeah,
movie.
They like it.
I'd like to get into this debate in terms of which movies you'd like to watch, and
Yes.
would you think cinemas are the thing now, especially so hot outside?
That's true. I think this is the right place to go to right now, especially in the summer, and here in the summer in the UAE in particular. So yeah, this is the right time to. I actually have like 4 films that I want to see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, literally. Some of them are Arabic films, but the American or the English films. One of them happens to be 1921, The Mandarin. It's actually centered in Shanghai. It's like a group of passionate young Chinese intellectuals. They flood to the streets to reclaim their country, and they spark a revolution whose impact continues to this day and all of that. So I would like to see something like that. It's a nice film to catch as well. It's in the cinemas right now. And I want to also see, there's another one, A Quiet Place. I didn't see that yet.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been in the cinema
Yeah.
for the longest time. I didn't see it. Quiet Place 2. The part 2, I want to see that as well. And Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. That's a comedy, and it has so many actors in it, and I love it. It's like, I believe it's Samuel L. Jackson is in it. Morgan Freeman,
Oh,
Salma
wow.
Hayek.
Yeah.
Right? Salma Hayek, is it?
What?
Yeah, Salma Hayek, Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, Antonio Banderas, and also Ryan Reynolds. They're all going to be, or they are in this film, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. It's a action kind of comedy kind of film, so I want to see
Right.
that as well.
Yeah, I mean, people are very excited about the prospect of watching movies in the theaters again, and it's good that we have so many different ways of watching movies, but when it comes to the summer, the idea of a summer blockbuster, that big movie you've been looking forward to, that's the allure. I think that's what really pulls back people back to the movies, just watching that one big release that everyone had been looking for. And we're gearing up for a number of those, so the Black Widow being one of those blockbusters, but we also have the new Space Jam movie. Have you seen Space Jam as a kid with Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes?
Really?
Yes.
I haven't.
Now they've got LeBron James. This movie's coming out in July in the United States, July 16th. I don't know when it's going to come out here, but that's not a movie I'm going to miss. It's going to be pretty unique as well. They got a movie about Anthony Bourdain.
Nice.
So that's going to come out in July as well. I'll be checking that out for sure. So a lot of great titles to look forward to. But, and of course, superhero movies, they're always doing that all year long. Suicide Squad is going to come out in August, featuring Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena as well. So, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. It's going to be a very busy summer. I'm very excited about going back to the movie theaters again. I think now is definitely the time to do it.
It definitely is because, I had this big debate as well when I was sat in the cinema is because back in the days during the pandemic, we thought, the cinema industry probably not doing that well. I think Netflix has taken over, and especially with Netflix movies winning so many awards, we were thinking, is there any relevance to the world of cinema? Welcome in the UAE summer, and you think, yep, cinema it is. And I think, when I'm watching things on Netflix, I can easily get distracted on the phone. My attention span is so short.
Right.
But in the cinema, especially when we were at the premiere, they took our phones away. You had nothing to do but just look at the screen.
Watch. That is such a good strategy, by the way, to watch a film and to really engage in it. It's just to remove your anything that could distract you, with your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great experience indeed. And Black Widow is certainly a great film to watch. If you are looking for something different and want to watch a movie and were waiting for a big hyped up movie to finally return to the cinemas, this one, it is indeed. And also a movie directed by a woman. The first movie, the only Marvel movie directed solely by a woman, Kate Shortland. And it is Black Widow, so do catch it, guys, in the cinemas near you. We'll be back again right after the business headlines, and we'll continue the discussions on the Morning Majlis.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Well, England have reached their first major final since the 1966 World Cup. That's 55 years ago. And that is the longest gap between final appearances in the history of the two competitions. And Denmark, they're just the fifth side ever to both win 3 games and lose 3 games in the same edition of a major tournament. And now England, they have successfully made it to their first ever European Championship final. Their 37 games was the most any team had played in the competition without ever reaching the final. But now they have reached the final of a major tournament for the first time ever since 1966 after defeating Denmark after extra time last night, in fact. And they're set to face Italy on Sunday.
And what an incredible game it was, and an incredible performance for England, who've done something they haven't done in quite some time now, where you get to a point in a tournament and when it becomes a test of nerve. In the past, England teams have consistently failed. When it came to that moment, they stop playing, whether they're paralyzed by fear or their technical deficiencies being exposed just at that last second. But this time around, it didn't happen. They kept playing out from the back, stuck to their patterns, and went away with a hell of a bang. What a great performance that was. And a lot of people excited now about England potentially winning the whole thing.
Look, I have to give credit to Denmark, the way they played, and I think they put up a massive fight. I think this game was an eye-opener for England. It was more of a needed, let's say, a kick and a little bit of it's going to ignite the spirit to go on and eventually take on the trophy, because the way England started, especially when they played against Scotland in Wembley, that was bizarre. It was a 0-0 ordeal against Scotland, and then it looked like a slow start for England as a team. But they picked it up. They obviously kept a clean sheet. But yesterday, Denmark, they broke the English clean sheet of 700 minutes in this tournament. And what a fiery free kick it was. That free kick was for me, the goal of the tournament. And it was a beautiful kick, and it was just one strike straight into the top corner, and Pickford had no chance really, and Pickford has been exceptional in this tournament so far. But England kept their resilience, even though they equalised through an own goal and then got the winning goal as a penalty, which to English fans was a clear penalty. For non-English fans, it was a ridiculous decision.
Yeah.
And that is where the contention lies. And Danish fans and Danish players at that time had the same attitude, saying we were hard done by that free kick, that penalty decision, and they were proud of the game, and they literally, it seemed that they were disappointed that the result didn't go in their favour in terms of the decision made by the referees, despite VAR being involved as well.
The Danes protested that one furiously, and just another controversial aspect too is the replays showed a second ball on the pitch, which could have stopped play before this decision was made, but England got pretty lucky there, and it was the circumstances of it. So Kane misses the spot kick, which resulted from that situation. One of the worst kicks he struck, and then on the rebound, they convert that to a goal as well. So just the way this happened was insane. And another thing, too, is you could see Denmark later in the game getting tired. They had a lot of substitutions, but something about England, they just kept storming through, did not wilt physically, and just kept they just kept going. It was amazing to watch.
It was also interesting to see how they responded after being a goal down, because obviously they've not faced that situation, and they were a goal down initially, and that's where the question marks rose to say how England can respond to it. Can they handle this pressure? Because this is huge pressure. There's a hype, there's a coming home aspect, and they're playing at home ground as well. So I think Italy will have nothing to lose. They entered the tournament as underdogs, and they've done exceptionally well, 33 unbeaten games, and Sunday it is going to be a very, very interesting game, and I'm sure most of the venues over here in the United Arab Emirates are going to be sold out.
Pre-book.
If you want to watch the game in any of the public venues, pre-book it, because this is going to be crazy and insane at the same time. But for the time being, we will be heading off. We'll be back again Sunday morning, bright and early. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, 4215 is the text line, and catch the podcast somewhere.
Yes.
Absolutely. Head over to Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcast for the Morning Majlis segments that you might have missed. Just type Morning Majlis in the search bar on those sites. Also, check out our YouTube channel. We upload daily on Pulse 95 Radio and stream our programming and music as well. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And until we see you next Sunday, stay tuned to Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.